Well, good morning, my Live, Build, Change family. This is Kerry Green, and it is time for the Morning Mindset once again. And I hope by now you understand and you believe in the need, the very desperate need each of us has to get our minds set right at the beginning of each day. You know, I've said it before, and I still believe it, that overnight we leak. While we're asleep, we leak things like positivity and faith and encouragement and truth. And it is our responsibility every morning to refill our minds with those things so that we can live the day in the light of that truth that God has said is true about us and true about Him. So we've been doing that most recently here in John chapter 14. And we made it all the way to verse number 15. And Jesus makes a very interesting statement here. And it's so interesting, it's probably the only thing we're going to be able to talk about today. Here's what He says. He says, "If you love me, you will keep my commandments." Now, I think it's important that we keep the order of this sentence in its proper place. He's not saying, if you keep my commandments, then you will be loving me. That's not what He's saying. See, the first thing is that we love Him. If you love me. If you love me. Love comes first. It's our devotion to Christ, our admiration for Him, our delight in Him that motivates our obedience. You see, it's not the other way around. A lot of people think that if they perform well for Jesus, if they do the right things, if they keep the rules, so to speak, or do what the leadership at their church says they should do as a quote-unquote good Christian, then they will receive something from Jesus and they will truly prove that they love Him. But Jesus is not saying that. Jesus is saying love, genuine love for Him, produces obedience. You see, obedience flows out of it. It's not a begrudging thing, and it's not a list of rules or regulations or criteria that we have to adhere to. There's no have to about it. There is only want to about it because we love Jesus. You see, if we, in human relationships, were to say to someone who we are in an intimate relationship with, say it's a spouse, if we were to say to them, "I'm doing this good thing for you because it's my duty." You see, that's not going to bless their heart, is it? It's not going to be an encouragement to them because they're getting the feeling you don't really love them. You're just doing something for them out of obligation. You see, and that's the point Jesus is making here. He's saying out of your love for Him flows obedience. So don't get those two turned around. So I want to ask you today, what is it that has happened in your soul over the course of your life that has bent you toward thinking you have to do certain things in order to prove your love for Jesus? I'm not saying everybody has that same degree of obligation or sense of ought to that exists in this realm, but I think we all have it to some degree or another. I want to challenge you today to refill your mind with this truth. Jesus has demonstrated His love for you by dying on the cross for you. Let your heart respond to that love with gratitude, with thankfulness, with appreciation, with humility, and allow the love to well up in you, the love for Jesus because of who He is and what He's done for you. That's my challenge to you today. Look at your day and say, how can I express my love? Not in any way to pay back what Jesus has done or to earn His love in return, but just to express how grateful you are for His love to the people around you in the situations you face. That's your challenge for today. Let's talk again tomorrow on The Morning Mindset.